Whew. Okay, so it is super cold out here. Oh my goodness. I need to warm up. So this morning, it was a normal morning, right? I was just like, okay, so his spirit guide has left. And I thought we was done because sometimes purposeful connections can be just an experience. Okay? So, I mean, I allow myself to be in the experience wholeheartedly, you know. So, I started doing my hair. And I'm just like, why do I feel so heavy? Like, I don't want to do my hair. So then all of a sudden when I was in there doing my hair, I just felt this shift. And it felt sad. It felt disappointing. And my stomach just started turning. Like I just felt nervous as hell. So, then I started feeling the aches in my body. I'm just like, you're here, right? So he tells me that he's here, and he says, the guy that we've been talking about, he lied about something, and he's nervous to tell me. And I'm just like, well, I don't give a fuck what he lied about, because it ain't too much that he can lie. It's not too, it can't be that bad. Like we don't know, we don't really know each other. You know what I'm saying? And, I can only go off of what I think. What I'm about to say, I don't know this for sure. This is just my assumption. This is my perception. This is what I'm perceiving. Well, for one, that if he lies about anything, it's going to be able to set boundaries, right? Because when you first meet somebody, they like you, you like them. But at the same time, if you're not sure, yeah, you want them to want you, to want to be with you, want to talk to you. But at the same time, if you're unsure, then you're going to put up boundaries. And if he doesn't know me, and he doesn't know how I'm going to act and how I'm going to respond, if he just come up and say, oh, we need some boundaries. So of course, he may lie about certain shit that may be going on within his life or what he has going on to keep me at a distance. You know what I'm saying? I remember I had told him, I had been thinking about him the whole day, and he was just like, don't think about me because I'm not a good guy and all this. When he was going through, the motions. I mean, if he wasn't trying to play head games, you know what I'm saying? I mean, he's a man. Most men play mind games. My thing is that obviously if he's going to do something like that, it's because he wants to control. I have no problem giving him the fucking control. So, I'm talking to his spirit, and I'm sitting there and I just feel so suffocated. So, my son, when he wakes up this morning, my son, he's real funny. Like, he has this real funny sense of humor. So he jumped on me this morning. Because, whenever we wake up and we greet each other with hugs and kisses. So he jumped on me this morning, and so he calls me Shanny Pan. Okay? So he's like, what's up, Shanny Pan? Good morning, Shanny Pan. And, he was just like, give me some of that milk. Right? So he's talking about the breast milk, right? He's been saying that and being funny about that ever since he was a baby. Okay? So he was just like, give me some of that milk. I was like, boy, get out of here. Right? So then it's like later on, his dad comes to me and he was just like, I need some milk. I need some titty milk. So I'm just like, what the fuck is wrong with them? You know what I'm saying? So my thing is, they don't like my son. Yes. But my son's father, he be funny like that. But it's just not normal the way things happened this morning. You know what I'm saying? And, my son's father, he came to me this morning and he's talking about drinking. He's talking about stop drinking and getting healthier and getting himself together. Now, this is not the first time that he's thought about this. And he's tried to stop drinking. And whenever he stops drinking, like when he tries to stop drinking, it's like he takes his irritation out on everybody else. I be trying to tell him, don't try to go cold turkey. Just slow down with the drinking and make sure that you're eating healthier. He has been eating healthier. Whenever he goes to the grocery store, he's always asking me what he should get. What do I want? Because he knows that I eat healthy. Okay, he's been going to the gym more, and he has been he buys like little wellness shots. So, he's just venting to me and talking to me, and I mean, I'm just like, I'm not real excited about him talking about that he's not going to be drinking anymore, because I'm just like, yeah, you're going to stop drinking, and that rehabilitation phase, you're going to be putting a lot of mental stress on me, because you don't know how to deal with the side effects of letting drinking go. So he and I had a conversation, because when I stopped smoking cigarettes, he doesn't know, right? So I had a mentor, and this mentor gave me the gift of letting the cigarettes go, because this mentor specialized in breaking obsessions and habits and patterns. So my mentor gave me that gift. So that's how I stopped smoking. But I couldn't tell my son's father that, because he's not just going to listen to what I say. He's going to think what he wants to think. And then he's going to start thinking, he's going to think I'm lying. Then he's going to be like, well, why is she lying? What is she lying about? Because we stay together, he thinks that he knows my life. I've been knowing this man for 20 something years, and he don't know me at all. But that is because I have been doing a lot of growth. And secretly, my son's father is sometimes very jealous of me. He has tried to like mock my personality. Like, I can't be too happy around him, because it's kind of like it's like nobody can be happy but him. He has to be the happiest person. And if he's not happy, then nobody else can be happy. Like, he's a very unfair person. And he's very unfair, and he's very, like, he's not good to me. So he wonders why he can't grow within his life. It's because God is always fucking this man up for the shit that he be trying to do to me on the low. You know what I'm saying? But I can't tell him that shit neither. The point of me saying that is that, he doesn't get me. He doesn't know. But my spirit is so bright. Even he envies it, and it irritates his demons from time to time. So, I'm not completely myself while I'm here. I have to be more in my masculinity, meaning that I have to be more protected. I have to be mind over matter with dealing with him. And I know people would say, well, you're favored by God. Why are you in that position? Believe it or not, this is the only place that is safe for me. Trust me. I've known who this man was at the last minute, but we serve a purpose together, and it has a lot to do with our son. And I'm going to tell you, sometimes he can pick up on my gifts. Like, sometimes the energy be transferring back and forth between he and I. So there are times to where he's walking around the house and he's reading everybody's fucking mind. He's saying the shit that's on my mind. He's saying shit that's on his son's mind. He's singing songs that I'm thinking about. He's singing songs that his son thinks about. And these are not even songs that he likes or listens to. Energy is absorbent, and he does not do anything to protect his energy. My energy is all over that house, because my focus is more on the home. I've tried to explain this to him, but he thinks I'm crazy. You know what I'm saying? So when dealing with him, I have to be more in my masculinity. And, he wants to be the likable one. He wants to be the one that shines. He wants to be the one that everybody gravitates to. You see what I'm saying? Naturally, that is who I am. But when I'm naturally myself, he does so much to try to disturb my peace. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to hide this person, and I'm just going to be the man of the house, because obviously he wants to be more in his feminine energy. And personally, I think it's better for him to be in his feminine energy, because he can't see me when I put up my guards. But the thing is that I can tell that he can sense another man. And this is a repeated pattern of his, because I'm going to tell you, majority of the time, he is a dick towards me. Now, I'm not trying to defamate his character, right? I'm not here to do all of that, but I'm not going to sit here and make it seem like he's a great fucking man. Because he's really cruel, but it's hard for him, when I'm in my masculinity, it's hard for him to get away with anything. I be putting his ass the fuck down. I be confronting the fuck out of his ass. Like, my masculine is strong as a bitch. And it be it be sunning his ass. And that's the truth. Okay, I don't demasculate this man at all. I can't help it. Like, God knows. My spirit guides know. I'd have had to raise up on this man a lot of times. I'd have had to pull my pistol out on his ass too. So, but other than that, I mean, he is who he is. I mean, how bad can it be? It's not that bad. But the thing is that he can sense somebody else. And every time he senses me, like, pulling away, it's kind of like he starts to put on this good guy act. When I had left and I went to Richmond to live with my sisters and I was trying to start my life over, whenever I would come back and visit, sometimes we would go out to eat, and, he's trying to make me think, like, if you come back home, shit is not going to be how it used to be. Like, I'll behave, I'll be good to you, I'll be this, I'll be that. So, I see the same pattern happening. I'm just like, he can sense another man, and he can sense that the part of me that is somewhat even still here, he can pick up that part is leaving too. Why doesn't he want me to leave? Because he doesn't want to do he doesn't want to do everything on his own. He does not like the responsibilities. All he wants to be responsible for is providing and going to work. Everything else, who takes care of everything else? I do. Right? But the thing is that in the eyes of other people, it looks like he's doing the most. Why is that? Because I saw early in the relationship that he has with his son, they were going to have a very challenging relationship. So what I did is that I would build on my son's social media with just him and his dad. And I told his dad, I said, these are memories. And, anytime you and him go through things, you need to be able to go back to these memories and remember what you really mean to him. Remember the good times. Just remember these beautiful memories. So I'm in the background of a lot of things. I don't fuck with his family. I don't like his family. I'm never around his family. You see what I'm saying? When it comes to his friends, I don't want to be around anybody that, really this man knows. This is his life. You see what I'm saying? And just like he gets jealous of me, everybody else in his life is the same way towards me, and motherfuckers be trying to hide it. But I know. And I can't say nothing, because then everybody gonna try to gaslight me and say, oh, you're tripping, you're being negative, this and that. You know what I'm saying? I know the truth. He's very manipulating. A lot of people that he knows is very manipulating, especially his siblings. I don't fuck with them. Like, they're very cruel, nasty people. And they try to pretend and act like they're such great people. You know what I'm saying? And they have been doing some of the most evilest, cruel shit behind the scenes. Like, I do not fuck with them. So, you have to understand, like, my gifts are shared with others that are around me. I have a big spirit. So, I forgot why the fuck I said all that. I don't even know why I said all that. But I just felt suffocated. And I'm just like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. And my son's father, he just keep talking to me about dumb, stupid, silly shit. And I'm just like, bruh, I'm trying to figure out what has shifted within inside of me. Like, and of course, I can't talk to him about it because he already think I'm crazy anyway. So I'm just like, I gotta figure out, like, what is going on. So, his spirit guide tells me that he lied to me about something. So, like I said, I'm not really worried about that. But so I think that I'm picking up on his emotional state. Okay. And this is where I have to find the balance between the spiritual and the practical, because, of course, if he lied to me about something and he wants to tell me the truth, of course, he's going to be nervous about my reaction or what he thinks I'm going to think about him about lying. I don't give a fuck, because I don't think that he's going to lie for fucking no reason. I think he's lying to protect himself. So now I know he has trust issues. Okay? So I will admit that I'm sad about that. But at the same time, I could understand why he probably would have trust issues. But now it's kind of like, for me, I'm like, oh my God, it's making everything much harder for me. It's making everything much harder for me. But the thing is that, I'm a healer. So this is the purpose. We're going in with healing these things. He has to be triggered in order for me to be able to see what's going on with him. Okay, so we're dealing with the little insecurities. We're dealing with trust issues. My thing is that I'm dealing with insecurities with him too. Trust issues, I'm not, because God, you know what I mean? God, my faith in God is so strong. Like, you have no idea the things that God has shown me. You wouldn't believe, I've had so many people come up against me. I had groups of people come up against me, a whole bunch of people and one person, and all the motherfuckers got laid out, and I didn't have to do shit. God said, don't you fucking move, be still. I watched everybody fucking crumble. So you have to understand, and even the times to where I'm fighting, and, we had a situation with my son and his teacher. And my son's father was on the teacher side, and she was completely wrong. And I couldn't believe, my heart was broken, because it's just like, instead of protecting your fucking son, you're going to team up with a bitch who's trying to fuck with him. You understand what I'm saying? God took care of that shit too. You see, I've seen the power of it. So it's kind of like, if God leads me to this man, I don't care what he got going on. Obviously, it ain't nothing I can't handle. I'm nervous too, because I don't know. But at the same time, I'm excited, and I know that God is not going to lead me astray. God is not going to do that to me. So, no, I don't have trust issues with dealing with this man, but obviously, like, he has some trust issues. So now we have to go in, and we have to, kind of get to the bottom of his trust issues. I feel like it's a role he has played in it, and I feel like it's something in which that may have rooted from childhood too. Okay, so, and then, maybe his experiences with women. You know what I mean? He's an older man. Like, I'm sure he's seasoned. I'm sure he has had time to reflect on his life. I know who he is today is not always who he has been, but I'm pretty sure he's always been himself, but I'm pretty sure where he's at now, he has evolved. And I'm pretty sure that life has, like, grown him. He's very, he just comes off very compassionate and very understanding. People are not born that way. People are not born that way. So he has had to go through a lot of shit in his life. When you're chosen, you're born into a life of trials, tribulations, having to learn things the hard way. I understand. I know. So, I could care less. When I was dating a younger man, I lied about some shit too. Because it's like, little nigga, you not about to sit here and try to play me. That's because my ego was in the way. You know what I mean? I'm thinking like, oh, I'm older, I'm smarter, I'm a young woman, but I'm ahead of my time anyway. So in my mind, I'm thinking like, my ego is just like, well, I'm better. Okay, I don't think this guy is doing that to me, but that's what my ego was doing. That's what my ego was doing to this other guy. Like, you're not about to sit here and make no fool out of me. I'm already living a very humiliating life, which is why I'm so humble. But at the same time, when it comes to my heart, you're not going to come in here and you're not going to play on my heartstrings. You're not just going to try to play me like I'm just some older chick that you fucking around with on the side that you can sit around and talk to your little young buddies about. You're not about to have me looking like no fool, like, oh yeah, I got this older woman and she's just absolutely crazy. The youth can be very heartless. Some people, they have not gone through shit in their life to where it humbles them in a way to where they become more understanding and they become more mature about life and people in general. And this young guy, he hung out. He was very popular, and he had a great career. So he's always around young people, people around his age. I don't have a 20-year-old body. My body is not the best, but I don't have a 20-year-old body. I had a baby, so sister got a couple of tiger scratches, tiger marks. You know, I got little dimples in my butt, you know, got some dimples in my legs and shit. You know, my stomach, ever since I stopped smoking, my stomach has gotten like big. Like, it's just a lot of stress goes towards my stomach, having to deal with all the fucking witchcraft. That shit has been like stressful to be able to keep up with and try to protect my home and everybody in my home. Like, this shit has weighed on me because, you know, I can't be as active as I need to be because God needs me to be still in order for me to learn what's happening, in order for me to hear how to move. So, you know, I haven't been in the gym like I used to. I haven't been walking and all this type of shit like I used to. You know, like, hold on, because this lady, she backing up. I'm about to leave because she's not going to get her car in here. Oh, she about to go on the other side. So, anyway, you know, so I'm just like, I'm looking at these women. They got nice perky titties. You know what I'm saying? They're in their bathing suits and shit. And I mean, bodies is snatched. You know, like the skin on their face is tight and all this type of stuff. You know, like I got a little double chin and, you know, the neck tells you everything, you know. So I got wrinkles on my neck and shit. So, you know, my thing is that I love who I am. I'm confident with who I am. But people are going to treat you based off of how they judge you. So if he values the physical, when it comes to me, he's not going to find much value there. You understand what I'm saying? And he may not be able to see who I truly am. Like, he may not be able to really see me. He may not be able to see, wow, she's a great woman. So, you know, of course, you know, and you know, it's just, I'm like, he's not going to understand. Like, I don't know what I mean to him. I don't know what he's thinking. I don't know how he feels. You know, I don't know his mind. All I know is that he's into me. But, you know, when I see him around other people and people his age, you know, these people are very shallow. So I'm just, you know, I don't fit in here. These motherfuckers out here talking about stupid shit and they listening to that stupid ass music. You know, I'm just, oh God. You know what I'm saying? They have no experience. So, you know, there were a lot of things that I lied about to protect myself, you know, from that young man. It had nothing to do with keeping a distance between me and him. It's more so me and his life. All I wanted was him. You know, I didn't want to be around his friends. I don't want to go to fucking parties. I don't want to drink all fucking night, nigga. I don't want to do no dumb shit. You know, then on top of that, I don't want to be in environments to where I can't just relax. I think personally, if you can't support somebody, then you should just leave them alone. You know, he had a certain lifestyle and people in his life. My thing is that I just want him. I'm interested in him. I know that if he tries to bring me around his peoples and all this type of stuff, I'm going to be triggered. I'm going to have an attitude. Like, I'm going to be a bitch. I don't want to do that shit. I don't want to go to no fucking club. You know, I don't want to do that shit. You know, I want to be at home, comfortable on my goddamn couch, smoking my blunt. I don't mind going out to dinner. I don't have a problem with going out and having a good time. I don't want to do it with a whole bunch of other people that I'm not connected to. And I'm just like, you are so much more than these people. And you're lowering yourself to just dealing with individuals because you want to have a good time, right? So with me thinking like that, it's like, now I'm treating him like my son. Now I'm sunning his ass. So now that doesn't make me feel good neither, because now it's kind of like, oh, she's acting like my mom. You know, men my age, you know, men that I have dealt with, a lot of people will be like, stop mothering me. Like, I don't need a mother, you know. But with him being younger, he's really going to feel like I'm mothering his ass, trying to tell him what to do, this, and that. So it was very complex. It was very complicated for me. When it was just he and I, it was very intimate. It was very mature. But then, you know, when he get around everybody else, it's kind of like that other side of him came out, or his real side. You know, it seems like he's most comfortable with that other side. So I'm just like, you know, he's going to keep me in the closet, but in the closet is where I feel more safe and comfortable with him. You know, and I start thinking to myself, I'm just like, you know, I don't deserve to feel that way. I've tried to have like certain conversations with him, but you know, it's like he just won't pick it. He won't picking it up. It's kind of like he started to kind of get tired and stressed out from having to keep up with me. You know, and of course, throughout the process, I'm feeling like I'm too much. You know, I'm too much. This is not going to work. You know, like I'm being insecure. You know, I don't want to be triggered. I don't want to be jealous. You know, I know who I am. I know who I want to be. But the feelings that I'm getting from him, you know, how it's not him making me feel this way. It's me feeling this way because honestly, I just don't feel, you know, like I'm where he really wants to be. You see what I'm saying? So, I had guards up and stuff like that because I was just feeling like, nigga, you're not about to sit here and play me. You're not about to do that. So, you know, his friend told me, his spirit guide told me he does have a bit of a jealous side too. Okay, so, you know, I'm not a jealous person. I'm not a jealous person. But I deal with jealousy all the time from other people. You know, I'm more so when jealous people get triggered, it's like they get angry. They want some type of revenge. You know, they want you to feel how they feel. I'm the type of person to where I'm going to cry. I'm going to cry right on the spot. I don't give a fuck. I don't like how this feels. I'm triggered and I'm feeling insecure. I'm crying. I'm crying on the spot. I can't help it. I'm a crybaby. I'm a Cancer. I'm crying. I'm not a jealous person. I'm not going to get jealous. I'm going to get insecure and I'm going to break down and I'm going to cry. I'm not going to get mad. I'm not going to want any type of revenge. I don't want you to feel how I feel. I'm going to cry. So, you know, when it comes to this guy, you know, if he's dealing with some jealousy issues, it's kind of like he's not going to want to see me talk to anybody. I get it. But at the same time, that's not fair to me because, you know, I know how to handle myself around men. So it comes off offensive to me like, you know, like I'm just some dumb bitch out here that's just in every fucking man's face. You know, like don't disrespect me like that. You know, but I understand how he feels and where he would come from, especially when relationships are fresh. Especially when they're fresh, because we don't necessarily have the security that we want right away. And you don't want to push it. You know, you don't want to be too much, but you want that person to know, like, we're together. I love you. This and that. So I understand. But at the same time, you know, there are men in the world. I don't want to go to a convenience store and, you know, there's a man that's the cashier and I got to sit there with my head down or I got to sit there and be glass face. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to be smiling in that motherfucker face, but I do believe in being polite. You never know who somebody is. I'm very spirited. So I might pick up on somebody's spirit guide. You know, I can't be out here trying to, you know, like worry about, you know, I can't, you know, I wouldn't do that to him. Like, that's not living. That's not living. Like, it's not natural. There are other men in the world. I'm with you. I choose you. God chose you too. So it's kind of like, you know, that would definitely have to be something that we would have to talk about because I don't, you know, I can't walk around like that. I can't walk around with not talking to other people. You know, my thing is that, well, shit. You're an amazing person. You know, women are starving for that. You know, men outnumber women, so women be out here trying to get these men. Child, that's why most women do not be fucking with each other because they feel it's so competitive for a man. You may meet a nice looking older woman who got her shit together and she may be like, let me take care of you. You know, like what? Or he could meet a younger woman and her body may look better than me. She may look better than me. She may have her shit together and she may want him too. Like, that's what I'm saying. sometimes with these negative emotions, it's like we're not able to empathize with somebody else. We're only thinking about how we feel and how we're going to be affected. But what about me? You act like you're not an attractive man. You act like a woman wouldn't love to have you around. A woman wouldn't love to have you take care of your ass. Motherfucker, if I had money, I'd be taking care of his ass and them grandchildren. Child, stop fucking with me. You and the whole family could come in. Stop fucking with me. You see what I'm saying? So I'm just like, well, it's not fair that he feels. So I just feel, I'm just emotional deep down inside. I had to talk about it. I'm about to walk to the store and get my blunt because I can, this feeling is hitting me so deeply. It's making me sad. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to cry. I really want to cry. It's because I'm sad, but at the same time, I feel something beautiful about it too. I said, oh my God, I got to focus. I got to finish up my head and I got to tackle this house. And this is what I'm talking about when it comes to the balance. So I'm just, I'm about to get out here and walk to the store and I'm about to get my blunt and I'm about to, because I need to be in my head. I need to be on something higher right now because I just have, too much to focus on, and he's important to me and I want to be able to focus on him too. So, but I have to take care of myself first and then I can go in with, go ahead and healing him and assuring him. Ooh. But I just need to feel what he feels and I can empathize with it and I can figure out what I need to do to be able to help him, but it's pretty thick and it's pretty heavy. You know what I mean? I can tell, emotionally he's a little stubborn. He may have a hard time with letting go of feelings. Like once he feels it, it's kind of like he don't necessarily let it go. But it seems like negative feelings, it's like he holds on to the negative, but he lets the positive go. So, okay. But I can't help him, with trauma bonding with him emotionally. So I got to get high so, I can get into my head and I can, analyze my emotions. I can think about things and I can, go in, like I said, with healing myself. Ooh, but it damn sure feel good to talk about it and just get it up out of me. You know what I mean? So, okay. So I'm just going to breathe. Okay. So, that is going to be that for this video here. So until the next time, we will talk again and thank you.